Okay, welcome back to another video. It's me, Samuel, and I don't know if I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this or not. I don't fucking know. I don't care. I'm not a big fan of Bruce Willis in general. His movie as an actor, I'm not really that big on him like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. I just don't see him up there with those guys. I mean, yeah, he has great films like Die Hard films, but outside of that, like, what else is good besides that? I mean, there's Pulp Fiction, but yeah, he had a pretty good role in that film. He plays a boxer, but what other films besides Pulp Fiction and Die Hard? Die Hard films. There's other films like, what's the other one called with Damon Wayans? Last Boy Scout. I wasn't a fan of Last Boy Scout. I thought that shit was like too goofy. I think the original script was better. I think I wasn't a fan of that movie. I watched another movie called like 12 Blocks or something like that. I thought that I couldn't really get into that film. And there was another film he was in. He plays a bad guy. I think that was called. It wasn't Mercury Rising. It was another film. And that was with Sidney Poitier. I wasn't really that big on that film either. I couldn't really get into that film. Same with Mercury Rising. I don't know. Maybe Mercury Rising. I don't know. I can't really count that one because I didn't really watch Mercury Rising. But like other films in general, like, I'm not really that big on this guy though. I don't hate him or anything. It's just I'm not that big on Bruce Willis as an actor in general. Let me see if I missed any. I know I missed a lot of other films that he's done. Like most of them that came out now is like straight to DVD, straight to video, indie films. I mean, there's Red. Red was alright. I didn't mind Red, but I never watched the second one though. I never watched 12 Monkeys. I mean, yeah, I watched like half of his films. Like most of it is, like I said, Die Hard films. I meant, like I said, Pulp Fiction. The other films I'm not really a fan of. Yeah, like I think I tried Last Man Standing. I couldn't really get into that film. I mean, maybe I'll rewatch that again in the future. There we go. The Jackal. That's what it's called. I'm not a fan of The Jackal. I tried getting into that. I'm not a fan of The Jackal. That shit was too goofy. I couldn't get into that film. Yeah, he's been in a lot of shit for a long, long time. And then he retired because he got senile. He can't read his lines anymore. He can't think. Because I was watching this one movie called White Elephant, which is a real classic. He's like the only thing that was bad about the movie is his acting was like really bad because he got senile like Joe Biden and shit. He can't remember his own lines. He doesn't even know he's even there, and that's like made me laugh hard. Even though I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's just funny as shit though. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was in Expendables, but he didn't really do anything in Expendables. I think Expendables 2 he did shit as Mr. Church, but the first one he just talked. He didn't really do anything. He just talked at a church because guess what? His name's Mr. Church. He just talked. Looper, I never watched Looper. Cop Out sucked. I never watched Sin City. But most of this shit, like, I never seen, what's another one I never seen? What was that? Element, something like, no, what was it? Fifth Element. I'm not really that big on Fifth Element. Maybe I'll try to watch it again one day. I didn't watch the movie in a long time. Like, the only thing I didn't like about that movie was fucking Chris Tucker. He was so annoying in that movie. But Bruce Willis is an actor. I'm just not really that big on him like I am with like Stallone and fucking Arnie. Well, I'm a bigger Arnie fan than Stallone, to be fair. I'm more of an Arnie fan than Stallone. And he's definitely not up there with like Charles Bronson and Clint Eastwood. He's not always up there either. But as an actor, I do like him as an actor. I'll admit to that. I like him as an actor, but I can't see him up there with those guys, to be fair. Yeah, he had those Die Hard films and shit, but... And he had Pulp Fiction, he had the other films that I enjoy, but not all his films I like. Like most films I can't really get into. But yeah, that does suck what happened to him. The whole he got all fucked up. He can't like think right, can't remember his lines and shit. Yeah, I understand that. Everyone especially he doing a lot of a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking. That's what really like fucked his head up. A lot of people, they are still being fine. But him, it's a different story, But yeah, I'm not really that big on Bruce Willis as an actor like everyone else is. I just can't really Just like with like Nicolas Cage and stuff. I mean, I like Nicolas Cage too, but I'm not always crazy about all his fucking movies. You know, especially when I heard when he fucked up the whole Last Boy Scout movie. He changed the script around with that shitty fucking producer or something like that. And I thought Damian Wayans and Adam Sandler were a better duo than him and Bruce Willis. I thought Damian Wayans and Adam Sandler did a better job together than him. The movie Bulletproof, that was a way better movie than the movie Damian Wayans did with Bruce Willis. That movie was way better. Because those two didn't. I don't think those two got along with each other. I think they did. I'm not 100% sure. I forgot. Yeah, his name Terry Silver. That's the producer's name. That guy's a clown. I think it was Terry Silver or something else. I forgot what his fucking name was, but yeah, I heard he's like a big douche, and Bruce Willis stopped working with him and shit. But Bruce Willis in real life, before he had his senile thing, he was a jackass to people and shit like that. You know. Yeah, it was unnecessary and shit, and that's a lot of reason why people don't really like him because of that. I mean, I don't really care about that. I mean, everybody's a fucking douchebag, to be fair, you know. I'm a douchebag, but I don't think he does, to be fair, but I'm not really that big on him as an actor, to be fair. I'm not really that big on him, like I said, but like Stallone, Arnold, Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson, Lee Marvin. I just don't see him up there with those guys, to be fair. But yeah, like I said, he had great films like the Die Hard films, Pulp Fiction, you know, other shit. But I'm just not really that crazy about it like that. But yeah, that's my opinion.